Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. To start today off, we have news that South Park is coming back in 2025, and it's going to skip the whole presidential election season. And the reasoning is they thought that they've said enough about Trump. And, I mean, fair enough. They have milked Trump to death. But I don't think they've talked about Kamala enough. I mean, it's South Park. You don't just have to make fun of one side. You can make fun of them both. I don't know, man. I just feel like it'll be out of place to have any election of any sort without South Park involved. So, we already know that they're making the Peter Pan movie that's a spin-off of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but apparently they're also making a goddamn Piglet movie as well. Are you serious, man? We have nothing aside from the poster, and I can just say that it looks ugly as fuck, man. What's next? Are we gonna get a Tigger movie? Honestly, that might actually be fucking sick, like, a scary tiger. I think that'd make more sense to do a horror movie of than a fucking pig or a fucking, like, bear. I mean, I guess a bear makes sense to be scary in concept, but not Winnie the Pooh. Kendrick Lamar will be performing at the halftime show at the Super Bowl next year, and I just have to say, man, good for him. He was at a halftime show before, so this is like one of the first times where a person's performed twice at the Super Bowl, I think. But before that, like before this time, he got to perform with fucking Dr. Dre, and like he was not the main act there, and now he's the main act. So I think that just shows how much that he's gotten popular, even over these last like 2 years here, to the point where he's able to do a solo act now. And yes, he probably will sing Not Like Us, and it'll be hilarious as fuck, because Drake might come out onto the field, and we'll get a football fight before football actually starts. We have some new updates on Spider-Man 4, being that it's starting filming early 2025. Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers are back writing the script, and they've written the script for the previous Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and it's going to be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. So as for it starting filming early 2025, that's actually, like, now that I think about it, that actually makes sense, because we know it's not filming now, but 2025 just, it still seems so far off, but it's not, like, that's coming up here, so the filming definitely makes sense. And as for Destin Daniel Cretton, that's fucking awesome news, man. I feel like he can do a great job with Spider-Man, because if you look at Shang-Chi, that's a great mix between a grounded kung fu movie while also having a bit of, like, CGI bullshit. It didn't really work that well with Shang-Chi, but I feel like he could do Spider-Man well. Now, I do wish they would get John Watts back, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Destin Daniel Cretton is a good choice. But it does beg the question if this is going to be related to the multiverse at all or not, as he was supposed to do Shang-Chi 2, which was also going to deal with the multiverse, so I guess we'll see what happens. Extremely sad news, being James Earl Jones has passed away, and he was 93, so he definitely lived a good fucking life. He lived his life to the goddamn fullest, but it's still very sad to see an absolute legend like this go. I don't want to talk about it for too long, because at the end of the day, it is someone's death, but just know, James Earl Jones, if you're up there right now, you have inspired plenty of people with your iconic voice of Darth Vader, and it will never be forgotten. And I guarantee you Disney will never forget you, because they'll probably end up using your voice as, like, AI or some shit. I hope not, but honestly, I guess they're gonna have to, otherwise we'll never see Darth Vader again in any content. Or they could do something more respectful, I guess, and just, like, reuse old voice lines. Regardless of that, though, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. Speaking of Star Wars actors being absolutely fucked over, you know how everyone was against Peter Cushing's likeness being used for Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One? Well, it seems those complaints were very, very warranted, as apparently Peter Cushing never gave any sort of consent whatsoever for Disney to do something like this. And he didn't even just, like, not give a statement at all. Like, he didn't just, like, not say anything about it. He was adamantly against people not using his likeness for anything, and Disney still did it anyways. So now, Disney is getting sued, very much rightfully so, in my opinion. I hope that this fucking puts an actual dent into Disney's profit somehow, unlike the sue that happened with the guy whose wife died of an allergic reaction because of Disney, because he only asked for $50,000, and they only paid it back to somewhat stay in the public's good graces. But Disney, come on, you're never going to stay in the public's good graces anymore, especially not when you're doing shit like this. I really hope this goes through, man. Fuck. Because there were so many other options you could have did. Like, you literally just could have reused old footage of Peter Cushing, and, like, that's all you would have needed to do. You could have still had Grand Moff Tarkin in there. Or, like, you could have just had someone come in as a representative of Grand Moff Tarkin and be like, yo, he said this. But Disney wanted their fan service, and look where it's getting them now. Shogun won 14 Emmys, which is an all-time record for a single season of TV. Holy fucking shit, dude. I mean, when I did my Emmys picking, I definitely thought that Shogun deserved a lot of the categories. But 14, I mean, damn. I mean, they were nominated for, like, basically everything, so it's not super, because, like, they had a chance to win everything, so I guess it makes sense that they ended up winning so much, but it's still immensely impressive. Like, let me just list off all the shit that they won. Best sound mixing, best sound editing, best period costumes, best production design, best main title design, best special visual effects, best period/fantasy makeup, best prosthetic makeup, best stunt performance, best casting for a drama, best period/fantasy hairstyling, best guest actor in a drama for Nestor Carbonell, best picture editing, and best cinematography. Like, holy shit. Congratulations, Shogun. You can bet that Season 3 is probably in the works now, even though Season 2 was barely even supposed to happen. Like, it was originally just going to be a one-season show. Also, in regards to the Emmys, I heard that Ahsoka actually managed to win something as well, which definitely surprised me, but I'm glad it won something, because it's like the last Star Wars show that we've had aside from The Acolyte, and I don't know, I'm glad that it won something. It has been officially confirmed that GTA 6 isn't being delayed until 2026, at least not yet. I still think that it definitely will be, but just to let you guys know of this. As for some more interesting GTA news, though, Rockstar was going to pay an artist $7,500 to use their song in their game, but have no future royalties. The artist rejected this offer, and people are calling him stupid for this, but honestly, I disagree. He has a point. Okay, I guess it depends how frequent the song was going to be used. Like, if it was just a random-ass song that you're going to hear on the radio, or like a song that played once, yeah, I think $7,500 was pretty fucking fair. But the way that this artist is making it sound is that this song was going to be pretty fucking big in the game and used multiple times, and if so, I definitely think they could have spared more than $7,500. There was a report that came out yesterday that I was initially going to report on, which was that a lot of Beyond the Spider-Verse had been scrapped for creative reasons, and a lot of it was being reworked, so it wasn't going to come out until like 2027 or some shit. But Chris Miller has confirmed that nothing has been scrapped and everything's coming along nicely. So I don't know where the fuck that initial rumor even came from, but I just wanted to let you guys know that that rumor was fake. Although I still think that even though the movie's coming along nicely, we probably won't get it until 2027 because they just want to make it absolutely perfect. The PS5 Pro was officially announced today to be coming out on November 7th, and guess what? It's $700! Wow! I can't believe the PS5 now has more products than it actually does games that are exclusive to it at this rate. But okay, $700? Are you absolutely shitting me right now? It's hard enough to get a PS5 as is, and they're already extremely expensive, and yet you're adding on an extra $100 that isn't even worth it. Because all you get with the PS5 Pro is a larger GPU, advanced ray tracing, and AI-driven upscaling, and just like very minor graphical tweaks. Like, that's it. Are you serious? I've never understood why they had to make a PS4 and then a PS4 Pro, and now PS5 and PS5 Pro. It's like with the iPhones. They do an iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11 Pro Max, and people are still stupid enough to buy the new versions that have no difference. Like, it's clearly just the companies wanting to get more money out of you when they could just release the Pro version to begin with. And I guarantee you it wouldn't have been that difficult to do. Maybe just delay the initial release by a few months, and I'm sure they could have done it. And what's even worse is the PS5 Pro doesn't come with a vertical stand, so you have to buy that separately, and it also doesn't come with a disc drive, so you're forced to buy all your games digitally unless you want to buy a disc drive of your own, which is an additional $80. So if you want to get the full console experience that you should be getting from the beginning, you have to pay over $780. Thanks, Sony. Really appreciate that bullshit.